Black Lives Matter is a movement that wants violence towards black people to stop. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's something we can all agree should not happen. The only problem I'm seeing is that it seems that it is growing to be more violent. Not all members of Black Lives Matter are violent, but some are violent or harassing people. In Minnesota, protesters chanted this: "Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon!"
What some may find offensive is also free speech. What's ironic here is that marchers were being protected by the very officers targeted in the chant.
You have freedom of speech and you have every right to say this, but if you tell me that Black Lives Matter doesn't promote violence, it sure doesn't seem like it from this type of stuff.
March organizer Rashad Turner says there's a big difference between words and actions.
It definitely wasn't a threat. I don't know if they would have received it differently if we'd have said maybe on a stick or something like that.
Pigs on a stick doesn't seem any less violent. Usually pigs are dead when they're on a stick. Now let's move on to the protest at Dartmouth College, where students chanted Black Lives Matter inside the library.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
Now this isn't violent, but if I were in that library, I would assume since Black Lives Matter is against violence towards black people, that they think the people in the library are at least okay with violence towards black people, which obviously is not true. You idiots think this is getting your message out and showing the world how people of dark skin are being treated violently? It just makes you look like assholes harassing students who want to get an education. And now this man, Jesse Morrell, is at the University of Missouri, where a Black Lives Matter protest is being held, and he is simply exercising his freedom of speech and is assaulted for doing so.
What needs to change in America is this mentality that you can live a life of disrespect towards authority and get away with it. Right. Michael Brown died because he had a disrespect for authority. Michael Brown died. Michael Brown died. Michael Brown died.
That man disagreed with what he was saying and decided to resort to physical violence because he didn't like what he was saying.
Calm down. Calm down.
No, you calm down.
You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. You do not belong on our campus. We just do not belong on our campus. We just do not belong on our campus. You do not belong on our campus.
Calm down.
Get the fuck off our campus. Hey, everyone shut up. This is free speech, all right? I don't give a fuck. So listen. We don't like it. It's free speech. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm sorry if you don't like his speech, but it's his right. And whether or not you disagree with it, he has the right to say it, just like the protesters in Minnesota.